Hello, I think we have started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second day of our celebrations of the environment, the planet, and its offerings to humankind and species. This event is about reimagining an environmentally sound vision for the future, recreating solutions to address environmental concerns through coordinated holistic approaches, and restoring any damage that we have caused. Yesterday, at the first day of the event, we discussed how different disciplines and expertise within our institution can contribute to the common goal of environmental restoration and how they can ensure prosperity for the generations to come. Today, we will focus on the education and student engagement activities on environmental protection and sustainability within the American College of Greece. We will start with a presentation of the Department of Science and Mathematics by Dr. Paraskevi Papadopoulou, who will continue with the Environmental Studies program, which will be presented by Dr. Anastasia Miseyani, and with the Sustainability Initiatives presented by Ms. Rania Sariotaki. We are also very proud to include today research work undertaken by our students and alumni. I would like first to welcome Dr. Paraskevi Papadopoulou, Professor of Biology and Head of the Department of Science and Mathematics and of the Biomedical Science Program. Dr. Papadopoulou, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Apostolaki, for the introduction. On behalf of our science and mathematics faculty and staff, I would also like to welcome you to our World Environment Day event. Today is a day of celebration, a day of gratitude and joy. Today and every day, we're here to reimagine, to recreate, and to restore our place of birth, our only home, the most precious jewel in the entire universe. So in this department, we offer a Bachelor of Science program in Environmental Studies, launched in September 2010, a Bachelor of Science program in Biomedical Sciences, launched in January 2020, 2+2 joint programs in Sciences and Engineering in collaboration with Clarkson University, launched in September 2020, minors in Biology and Environmental Studies, and minors interdisciplinary in the Environmental Management and Tourism and Sustainability in collaboration with the School of Business and Economics. In addition, the department supports the liberal education program and other programs by offering courses in mathematics, statistics, and natural and physical sciences courses. If anyone is interested to find more information about our programs, you can visit these links. Now, the Environmental Studies program is interdisciplinary as an academic field, and you will hear more about it from Dr. Miseyani right after. If you want to find more information about this program, again, you can visit this link that I have on this page. As far as the Biomedical Sciences program is concerned, it was launched 10 years after, in January 2020. It's validated by the Open University and accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education. It is an interdisciplinary and career-focused program and designed to satisfy all pre-med requirements of US medical schools. It has a strong foundation in life sciences, especially in the biomedical and healthcare fields, and it offers the students the opportunity to do research and internships. So if you want to find more information about this program, you can visit the link and contact the admissions office or the head. Now, both the Environmental Studies program and the Biomedical Sciences programs are designed with a strong component in their program and courses learning outcomes related to sustainability, and we have, work closely with the Center of Excellence in Sustainability, for which you will hear more again soon after. Recent developments that have to do with our own department are the three research areas: the Biomedical Science and STEM Education area, the Environmental Science and Sustainability Research area, and the third, the Biostatistics Research area. These were developed as part of the 150-year ACG strategic plan. You can see the link here, and the Research Technology and Innovation Network. Now, both faculty and students are involved in various research topics, and we expect that the research will greatly expand in our department as the research and innovation will be promoted by the ACG Research Center and RTIN. So our event today is intended as a call to action in support of the 2050 vision for biodiversity, living in harmony with nature. And our goal is to raise awareness on climate change and biodiversity challenges, including health, offer inspiration and positive examples for smart and wise solutions, and focus on specific themes and highlight options for actions and solutions. But today, the second day, it is our students mostly that will present to us their experience. Now, here's a list of topics and challenges that we need to explore. And we have already addressed some of these issues in our discussions yesterday, and we will do also today. I leave it here, and this PowerPoint will be available, and it is already on the site for anyone, especially our students that may find some interest on this. So we need to keep in mind some overall, though universal objectives related to the World Environment Day event, which is a rallying call to prevent, halt, and reverse ecosystem degradation, to examine how ideas and proposals on global sustainability and implementation can bring action on climate change and biodiversity laws, to examine also how to help communicate and disseminate through proper educational training in environmental science and environmental sciences, health and healthcare, the importance of establishing the biological discoveries on one hand in connection to environmental influences and exposures on the other hand. So finally, how to enhance human wellness while at the same time we preserve and protect natural ecosystems. Uh, as a faculty, we have worked a lot on STEM education, active teaching and learning, and we are trying to bridge education with environmental issues, health and healthcare challenges and opportunities, and we actually know what we need to do. And so here are some points that you may see afterwards. And if we address the question, can interdisciplinary collaborations with the help of technology pave the way to a new era of existence, and why not in harmony with nature? Our response is certainly positive. We could do that. As also positive is our response to moving from conventional medicine to personalized and precision medicine. In addition, we have identified important points for interventions which are required to transition toward healthy and sustainable societies. Societies that have certain priorities to be healthy. And according to the strategies that we have identified, we also identified strategies per priority. So this is work that we are doing here at the now, COVID-19 pandemic unfortunately brought disruption of our everyday life, deprived life itself from many individuals, unfortunately. But we believe that time is right to mount an ambitious effort worldwide to transform the understanding of factors contributing to the appearance of the virus, its transmission, disease progression, long-term COVID-19 effects, and various therapeutic schemata, including vaccinations as protective means. So what we know is that it is important to bridge medical knowledge, digital technologies, education, healthcare, environment, individuals all together so that we are fully engaged in these problems and find solutions. So here what I provide in the last slides are some additional resources, mostly for our students. These are biodiversity contribution resources to good health and well-being. So I just go down and you will find these links. They're very important to explore. Please do so, especially in platforms like eBest, because you find there interesting assessment reports, or various biodiversity initiatives you find here on these links. The One Health approach, again, quite interesting. You should explore it because it is under such approach that collaboration, communication, coordination is enhanced and is actually proposed. So these health issues we can identify, we know what they are, we can all work together to solve them. The World Economic Forum, for example, has platforms again that are very, very interesting that you should explore, as also articles and work from researchers that point to full community engagement. So with that, I would like to just tell you that we are entering a transformational decade of action, a decade where we would have to answer how we build resilience against future shocks. So yes, we need more action, we need more integration, we need more partnership, we need more innovation, finance, and more equity. So with that, I would like to just point that there are some links that you should follow, perhaps. Our contacts are here. And I would like now to turn the floor to Dr. Misegiani. Dr. Misegiani is Associate Professor of Environmental Studies and has served the program for many years since its creation, and she will inform you more about the Environmental Studies program. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Papadopoulou, for this introduction. I will now share my screen. Okay, sorry for that. Sorry, what happened? I'm sorry, I will share it again. Something happened. I apologize for the delay. I hope you can see my screen now. So, apologize for the delay, the technical issues. As Dr. Papadopoulou, it is a pleasure to be part of this event. As you heard, the ACG introduced the BSc in Environmental Studies in fall 2010. It is the first private higher education institution to introduce such a program in Greece. Why environmental studies? Everything started from the vision of a few people from the Department of Science and Mathematics 10 years ago, 11 years ago, a vision for sustainability, environmental awareness, environmental protection, social responsibility, and a transformative education, an education that is capable of changing students' lives. We aim, therefore, to develop professionals who understand the root causes and multiple dimensions of environmental issues and to make them capable of effectively addressing them in an increasingly complex world. This program, the content of the program, provides a good background in natural sciences. The students learn about how the environment works from the different perspectives of biology, ecology, chemistry, geology, but they also learn about the social, the economic, the political dimensions from the social sciences, but also about the management and policy aspects with emphasis on problem solving. They study specific environmental topics in their higher level courses, depending on their interest. They learn about research methods and they conduct a capstone project. The program, as you heard from Dr. Papadopoulou, is validated by the Open University of the UK, and the ACG as an institution is accredited by the New England Commission of Higher Education of the United States. We have received positive feedback on the program from UK academics and institutions, but also from our students. There are many strengths that we can stress for our program. Apart from being the first in Greece offered by a private college, it is the first and the only one in Athens undergraduate program. The dual degree offers quality assurance and recognition of professional rights. It is an interdisciplinary program, offers a wide range of skills, not only knowledge, but also cognitive, practical, and transferable skills. Through the field work, through the lab component of the degree, and the transferable skills is what will help students enter the job market, whatever they do. And possibilities for graduate studies and career opportunities, as testified also by the successes of our graduates. In the figure here, you can see the interdisciplinary nature of environmental studies, with, of course, starting from ecology here, but also many other disciplines involved, from economics to ethics to even literature to even chemistry, of course, and computer science. The close connection with the Center of Excellence in Sustainability and Sustainability at ACG that you will hear about from Ms. Rania Sargiotaki is another strength of our program. ES faculty participate in the leadership of the CES, in the past as directors of the CES, or presently Dr. Apostolaki as chair of the Academic Advisory Board. ES students have engaged in sustainability-related projects and have worked as assistants to the CES. Some have become sustainability leaders. Another strength is the faculty teaching and research experience. long work and research experience in different environmental studies and biology fields, long experience in teaching science at DRE, emphasis on student-centered learning, pedagogies of engagement, personalized learning, as we have a small program, sharing knowledge through co-teaching, collaborative learning, collaborations with external entities within the framework of student projects, assessment that cultivates critical thinking, instructor training on science pedagogy issues, and research on teaching and learning from the instructors. So another important strength is the unique campus environment and facilities. The campus is used as a living laboratory. Here we can see students doing field work in the forest, on the green roofs, the lab activities, which is an important component of our courses, and of course, reaching the achievements. We are proud of our students. We are proud of the excellent student performances. Of the excellent student capstone projects, some of which included original work and were presented at international conferences, as you will hear soon. We are happy that opportunities for field and lab work increase, that students have chances to engage in campus and community projects, that internship opportunities increase, that work-study opportunities exist for ES students at DRE, that we have an active ES faculty and ES society, which is the student body, and actually the society was awarded 3 times recently the Society of the Year Award, and also became a member of the UNSTSN Greece Youth Network in 2020. The program has attracted an increasing number of minors and study abroad students. And now there are so many events and so many good moments that one can highlight, from the recent participation in online events on SDGs hosted by ACG, to earlier participations in organizations of events on plastic-free campus, to the awards of, to the climate participation in climathon competitions 2018 and 2019, about which you will hear soon, and the awards that students received. The symposium on climate change, green careers events, volunteerism actions, field workshops, field trips, visits, information sessions, lectures by guest speakers, college-wide events in the past, such as Sustainability Weeks, Athens Science Festival participation. And here are just some highlights of these good moments: awards, visits, field trips, volunteerism, Green Careers event, field workshop, as we said, more field trips, plantings on campus and outside in an effort to green the environment. Last year's events, COVID did not stop us. We have remained active. There has been participation of the program in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Symposium, event on the role of Greek higher education institutions promoting the SDGs, students participating in the Youth Speak Forum in April 2021, and more developments thanks to the administration upgrading of the Science Lab, smooth transition to online teaching, development of online lab and field activities, online events, as we said, and further enhancements of the program are planned with new courses, with research collaborations with other academic institutions and research centers that are taking place. Here are the great successes of our graduates, some examples of some of the graduates programs at prestigious universities where they have been accepted. I'm really confident that the pressing environmental challenges of today and the need for more professionals with skills to address these problems will attract more students to this program. I would like to thank Dr. Apostolaki for organizing this very important event. And I will give the floor now to Ms. Rania Sargiotaki, Senior Manager for Sustainability Affairs, DRE ACG. She will talk to you about sustainability at ACG. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Misayani, for introducing me. I'm really happy to be with you today and have the opportunity to present how an educational institution, in our case, the American College of Greece, has promoted throughout the years and continues to promote sustainability and the SDGs. at ACG, there is a commitment to, first of all, to promote a high quality education, and of course, high quality education for all, with no exceptions. It's important to note that sustainability is embedded in all 4 goals of our President's strategic plan. So there is a commitment at the highest level, and we are very happy and confident, proud of that. Our focus is to educate, inspire, and empower our members of the community, students, faculty, staff, but also our business partners, our trustees, to develop a sustainability culture and collaborate with a local and broader community in order to promote sustainability best practices. For all our practices, we have been assessed all these years, and recently we have been we received the STARS Gold rating by the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. Is a worldwide association that promotes sustainability in higher educational institutions. We were assessed in 5 categories: academics, community engagement and social impact, operations, planning and administration, innovation and leadership. ACG is the only education institution in Greece to have received such a distinction, and this showcases our efforts to promote, to have a 360 degrees approach when addressing and promoting sustainability. Regarding our sustainability in the curriculum was very much covered by both Dr. Papadopoulou and Dr. Misayani. So we'll move on to the other categories in order to showcase how we promote sustainability. First of all, we try to engage our community and have a positive impact in the broader community we operate. There is an emphasis on peer-to-peer education. That's why, following US best practices in 2018, we launched the Sustainability Leader Student Organization. It's a volunteer student group comprised of students from all disciplines that they are eager to promote and engage their peers in adapting a more sustainability culture and lifestyle, both on campus and off campus. Our engagement with the students continues with promoting special programs like the one mentioned in this slide. It's the UN Millennium Fellowship Program. It's a semester-long leadership development program administered by the UN Academic Impact and the Millennium Campus Network, in the context of which our students, together with the Office of Public Affairs, organized a 3-day symposium promoting the SDGs and especially addressing social issues. Our community engagement continues, of course, with awareness-raising campaigns like our effort through the ACG Goes Plastic Free campaign to minimize our single-use plastics footprint on campus. In a year, it was launched in 2018, and in 1 year we managed to minimize our consumption close to 42%. And ACG was featured in a dedicated website by the Ministry of Environment and Energy for our best practices in the context of the nationwide campaign for the elimination of plastic-free items. This is another, I would like to highlight another initiative. The Reuse at ACG Exchange platform, it's worth noting it for 2 reasons. First, it's an initiative aiming at educating our community on proper waste management, but also it was a project that involved our students. It was a platform that was designed and constructed by our dear students, from the IT major in the context of their project-based learning work group, which is very important at ACG. Also, we try to inform our members regarding our efforts and sustainability best practices through our newsletter, dedicated website, or social media platforms. Another important is that I want to stress is we try to promote sustainability at the national, international level, and we partner with national and international networks, fora, and NGOs. In the context of which is an initiative like the CSR Summer School, which is a collaboration with the business network CSR Hellas and a public university, University of Crete, aiming at providing education and sustainability on current issues to business professionals in Greece, but also abroad. From day one, our students learn the act of giving, contributing back to the society. This is a snapshot of our impact in 2019. And when they graduate, our students pledge, commit that while leaving the campus, they will continue to promote our values, and they will continue to practice all the sustainability. They will continue to promote the sustainability culture both in their professional and personal lives. Of course, there is a big emphasis on campus operations, where we by following the guidelines of the ISO certification and energy policy. Here you can see some of the projects that focus on energy efficiency and waste management. Sustainability is a key component. Our new members, employees, and students, from day one, they learn how to promote sustainability on campus and how to join and how they can support the overall efforts of the college in creating a more sustainable campus and community at large. ACG has been a top performer in NASA's Sustainable Campus Index since 2016 on well-being and work. Here is, of course, we don't stop here. We continue our efforts. We are committed and we continue to support at all levels our sustainability practices and have make our communities better for the generations to come. We focus on enhancing the sustainability in the curriculum. By 2025, we aim at having one learning outcome at least on sustainability in all programs at the graduate level, increase the volunteer hours, eliminate our single-use plastic items, or focus on eliminating food waste in collaboration with our catering provider and through the NGO Borume. And our effort is to continue to our campus operations in terms of improving energy efficiency and consumption. We aim to have our total of our buildings to be energy efficiency to be classified as A energy efficiency buildings. Replace our conventional light bulbs with more sustainable solutions. Integrate all the buildings of the college in the building management system. And we promise that we will continue to promote sustainability. We will continue to educate the leaders of tomorrow on how to provide solutions in the current issues and to be able to work with even more partners to make our world and our communities more sustainable. Thank you.
Hello, hello again. Uh, I would like now to start our new session. We are proud now to start with presentations on work that has been undertaken by our students and alumni. The first three presentations are on creative projects. We will start with a creative idea on how we can make paper at home, an idea that has been inspired and created by Anna Christodoulou, and we will continue with two presentations on the Athens Climathon competitions. These competitions are hackathons aiming to identify holistic solutions in the fight to combat climate change. In both competitions, our environmental studies students won the first prize award. The 2018 Climathon winning project will be presented by Zoe Eleni Moragli, and the 2019 winning project will be presented by Hayley Turner. Dear Ms. Christodoulou, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor. Okay, so let me share. I would like to thank you for this warm welcome. Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Christodoulou, and I am studying accounting with finance. And I took a course named Greening the Campus with Professor Apostolaki. And I created a project about homemade recyclable paper. So I would like to tell you a couple of things for deforestation. It is one of the major environmental problems that puts our planet in danger. It causes nearly 1/5 of the world's annual greenhouse gas emissions. Now, trees can act as healers for climate change because they remove carbon dioxide from the air and they store it in their wood, soil, and leaves. But unfortunately, when people cut those trees and destroy the forests, carbon dioxide is released back to the environment. Production of paper products is one of the main reasons for deforestation. Almost 13,000 separate pieces of paper are thrown away annually by the average household. This can be the mail that you're getting at home or the boxes from your orders. So I thought that if each of us tries to help the environment in any way we can, for example, by using fewer paper products and recycle paper at home, then maybe we can make a difference and save our planet in the long run. So you're going to see a video next, but I wanted to tell you a couple of things before we see the video. So the first step of the paper creation process consists of collecting used paper and soaking it in water. It doesn't matter if you have written something on this paper or if something is printed on it. You just take this paper and you soak it for about 30 minutes until you can easily rip apart the paper. And after that, I used a blender and mixed the paper together with the water. In the second step, I poured water into a big container and added some French coffee. I used French coffee to give a nice color to the paper. And about 3 cups of the paper mixture that was created in step 1. So I think that now we're ready to see the video.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami zungangishilana dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my presentation and my video. I would now like to invite Ms. Zoe Morali to start her presentation. Have a great day.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you, Ms. Christodoulou. Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here with you celebrating the environment. Before sharing my short video presentation, let me just say a few things about me. I am Zoe Eleni Moragli, a proud ACG Environmental Studies graduate. I am currently occupied as an environmental scientist at the Ecological Recycling Society, a Greek non-governmental organization, where most of my work has to do with waste management, waste prevention, recycling, reuse, composting, and zero waste practices. Today, I am here to show you a short video presentation of the first prize award winner idea of Climathon Athens 2018, the lottery application. Let's see the short video
I'm
presentation.
Zoe Eleni Moragli, and I will present to you the Love Tree application. The Love Tree application was an idea that was generated during the Climathon 2018 competition. The challenge of that year's competition was creating Athens' first open data urban tree inventory. Before generating the idea, we had to think why we need trees and which are the benefits of trees. Well, trees provide us with a lot of benefits. They combat climate change, they regulate the climate, they filter the air, they provide shade, they protect from UV rays, they conserve energy, they retain water, they prevent erosion and flooding, they support the hydrological cycle, they prevent water pollution, they add unity, they provide wood, they increase property values and business traffic, they provide food, they assist healing and reduce metal fatigue, they reduce violence, they mark the seasons, and they provide canopy and habitat for wildlife and many more. The Love Tree concept evolves around generating new ideas and new thinking that includes the holistic analysis of satellite, environmental, biological, and socioeconomic data and the interactions between open green spaces, water attenuation, and spatial planning. The Love Tree framework includes the unification of the already existing data related to the 7 subunits of the municipality of Athens, aiming to enrich the database with new datasets and to create database on additional spatial characteristics in a combined, broader database. The actual application of the Love Tree aims at enhancing public awareness on the benefits and added value of the trees in urban settings, the climate change risks by the loss of trees, the flood protection potential of trees, and the cultural and historical characteristics of trees. More, the application will provide a useful tool for enabling better access and use of open green spaces within the city. Now, with regards to the users, the Love Tree application will be user-friendly. It will provide information on carbon dioxide capture and water capture by specific tree species by location, and it will identify cool shaded areas informed by meteorological data as well as flood-prone areas. Users will also have the ability to discover the potential of using the fruits and the seeds of public trees if they want to. Finally, the users will adopt and name a tree. They will send feedback associated to the state and the history of trees, the need for maintenance of existing trees, and the potential for new planting within the urban settings. Thank you very much. That was the idea of the Love Tree application that was generated during the Climathon 2018 competition in favor of creating Athens' first open data urban tree inventory.
Thank you again for watching. Now let's hear Ms. Hailey Turner, the current president of the Environmental Studies Society, presenting the first prize award winner idea of Climathon 2019. Hailey, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Zoe. It's amazing to see kind of 2 years of our work. So I'm going to Throw the floor. 1 second. Let's see, is this? Sorry, my apologies. I'm trying to share the screen. Can we see the screen as well? I apologize for the delay. Give me a moment. Okay. Can we see the screen or? Yes, thank you. Okay, perfect. So, hi, sorry for the delay. My name is Haley Turner. I'm an ES senior now, and I was one of the ES students in 2019 that took part in our Climathon. We had a couple people from ACG, as you can see, and we focused on talking about bringing bike lanes into Greece and underlining like kind of the importance of having them in everyday life. So we talk about in this presentation like our ideas and our strategies for different things to make bikes really functional and enjoyable. Go next. So we had a goal. We wanted to decrease the number of cars on the road, lessen traffic congestion in the city center, and reduce our carbon footprint. And we wanted to kind of encourage a biking community. So biking in Athens, I think most people looking at this presentation think, yeah, we need a lot of work. The city has to improve a lot of infrastructure and even culture to improve the safety around bikers. So we really focused on kind of showing the pros of bikes, reducing CO2 emissions, reducing traffic. We're trying to improve people's quality of life and their air quality, and they're a really reliable way of transportation. Our current issues that we're facing are a lot of infrastructure issues. There's just not a lot of connecting bike paths and roads. It's not really safe. Bikers and drivers don't really respect each other, and it's inaccessible. Like I said, lanes kind of start and stop throughout the city. Sometimes it's a really nice path, and sometimes you're just kind of biking alongside rush hour traffic, and that's not really the best idea. So next, we really wanted to focus on, and there's been talk in Athens about pedestrianizing a historical triangle. It'll start in Syntagma in the heart of downtown on Eremou Street. So we wanted to connect these like kind of congested downtown areas with bike lanes on the major roads to incorporate metro stations. So we have this multimodal transportation. So we want citizens and tourists to be able to use this. So the goal is connect bike lanes with metro stations, kind of bike and ride. So we need to build bike racks and bike share stations. We need incentives like metro tickets. And our bike sharing needs to work for people who don't own bikes, for e-bikes, for people who maybe don't want to pedal that much or don't want to be sweaty before they get to a meeting. Bikes to be recyclable. And we want to have a friendly phone application for this. So where's the path at? We designed it near public transportation networks and in correlation with some of the major busy roads and areas. And we want to connect existing routes, have it on main roads, have an open-ended design. So we want a smooth surface, like kind of a white bike outline to indicate the lane, and it's elevated from the ground. So downtown Athens. So the main metro lines are in their respective colors, as we all know them for the most part. And our proposed bike lane is in orange. Now we wanted it open-ended, so you can kind of just spread this out. Obviously, this is really small and only downtown, but you can kind of see the historical triangle in that shaded gray area over there. Okay. So we wanted an app for bike mobility because how else are you going to keep connected? So the main features of our app are journey planners. We wanted existing bike lanes, maps for tourism because that's a big industry here, and we wanted it with bike sharing services. We had an amazing team that thought about personalizing it to the person. You could have a fitness tracker in there, calculate how much CO2 you're saving, and give you live updates on traffic, infrastructure problems, accidents. So it could be linked to Apple, Google. We're trying to make it accessible, basically. So convincing the public is probably the hardest part. We have to make biking really safe, reliable, and convenient. It can be done for sure. So we need to work together with universities. We need to have big days, turn it into something fun, and focus on success of biking in residential Athens. I live in a residential neighborhood and I see families with their bikes and their kids. And if we could convince that to be more of a functioning thing for every day, it would be fantastic. So to end this, I want to show you a city that really did work. Sevilla, Spain, kind of had a similar situation to us. A lot of complicated road, not a lot of street space, and a lot of road congestion. And they started out, you can see in the photo, starting in like 2005, 2008, they had these random small sections of bike lanes that we kind of have. And once they built an infrastructure, they had great success in bringing bikers, and it's really helped them with their CO2, road congestion, and all of those different things. So maybe if Sevilla, Spain can do it, we can do it. So thank you for our attention to the proposal. I'll throw it back to the main screen, Dr. Salaki, probably. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your presentation was great. All the presentations were great. Thank you for presenting your great work. The next session is also dedicated to work that has been undertaken by our students. In this case, our students are going to present different and very interesting research projects, all of them focusing on environmental topics. All of those projects are projects by the environmental studies students. We will have presentations by Hayley Turner and Eva Tufeksi. They are going to present a joint project, a project that they have done together. I'm afraid Eva is having some connection problems, so Hayley Turner will present her part as well. Georgia Sarakinou, Lydia Iris Papageorgiou, Pinelopi Savidou, and Harala Bosgikas are all the students that will present in this section. I should better let our students present their work in detail. So, Miss Hayley Turner, can you return back?
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, I will start off, and let me share my screen really quickly. I think, is it hopefully thrown up? Okay, perfect. So I'm going to talk to you today about one of our beloved environmental studies program classes, Integrated Methods in Environmental Analysis 1. ES 3240 for all of us environmental studies major. You will get there eventually. It's one of our level 5 classes. And as this is the first part, there's obviously a second part, but I'm going to focus on some of the work we did in Integrated 1. So I'm Hayley Turner. You saw me a few seconds ago. I am a senior environmental studies student, and one of my peers and really good friends, Eva Tufeksi, she can't be here with me today, but she is also a senior here with me. We're both in these photos. I'm the one in the ocean in one of them, and she has the other side of the multimeter. She's wearing the backpack. And then one of our teachers, Dr. Masayani, is there. Same with this other photo. You can kind of pick us out from these. So I'm going to talk to you about the class really fast and kind of what it consisted of. It's really hands-on, which is why after you spend so much time in some of the introductory classes, you get very excited to get to Integrated 1 because you get lab work, you get field time, and there's no lab for this class, but it definitely feels like there should be. But it's so fun that you spend time after hours anyways. We don't care. So it's big and focused on biological research and how to do various analytical techniques. So the big part of this class that everyone loves is that we get these mega REMA field trips. We go down to the port area of Rafina. Well, we start a little bit above. We start at kind of a river point, then we go down to another estuary point, and then we end up kind of in the port area of Rafina. So we do the trip twice or sometimes more, as much as we can. We only were able to do it once the semester I did it, 2020 fall, because of COVID, but it's okay. And it helps you put into practice what you're spending all the time you're doing in the lab. And so you learn a lot of things about methods for how you, with aquatic environments, that's the focus on here. So the aims of my research project. We do some lab reports, but this was a specific project. You kind of pick something you're very interested in and go for it. So I focus on phytoplankton and zooplankton in our areas and what various sampling methods we had that could be applied to this kind of river to estuary to see, ecosystem, to understand how their abundances varies. So my research questions focus on how do varying levels of temperature, changes in seasonality, and water flow influence the abundance and species richness of phytoplankton and zooplankton in river and estuary ecosystems, and ultimately the ecological productivity of the area. So I had a hypothesis, which was that temperature and seasonality were going to be really important. So they're going to be more critical when it comes to influencing the level of zooplankton and phytoplankton versus the other variables that we monitor. I did examine some key factors, of course, chemical analysis of the nutrients, pH, temperature, dissolved oxygen, salinity, light availability, chlorophyll A, and water flow. So I had to do a lot of biological observations done, and I learned how to, with Dr. Papapoulou, to classify different species that we saw. And so these two images on the side are two images from our microscopes that semester. So it was a lot of fun. Once, like I said, again, very practical. We kind of moved from there. So the findings, because we don't have a lot of time. So we had a couple different locations and they were labeled A, B, and C. Location A was the most rich of them all. I pictured the sampling site and we had the most things come from there. So like I said, this is a course that has been around for a while and we do it every year or literally every semester. So we have all this data that we've taken in terms of temperature, salinity, dissolved oxygen. Each kind of class before us has compiled this data. So we have information going quite a few years back. So I decided to compare it to data from spring 2019, since my class of integrated 1 was 2020. So I found that dissolved oxygen was higher in the fall and temperature was lower in the spring. Nitrates were the same in both seasons and phosphates were lower in the spring. Those are both nutrients, obviously. pH and salinity were kind of stable for the area. So the part that I was focused on, which was phytoplankton and zooplankton, was the abundance. So there was definitely an abundance of species more in the spring of 2019 versus fall of 2020. So it was fun for me to realize that and kind of learn. The outcomes to this is that since it's preliminary data, it shows support for the hypothesis that I have that seasonality and temperature and water flow play crucial roles in the variance and the levels of phytoplankton and zooplankton collected versus factors like pH and salinity. They tend to be a little more stable for that area. And but since it's preliminary and since we don't go on a very, very consistent basis, we can't do any official statistics. It wouldn't be right. We wouldn't have full confidence in the results. We need a much more strict sampling schedule. So it's all just preliminary data and kind of something that I could learn from. So my experiment focused on kind of understanding and observing how zooplankton and phytoplankton varied from the different locations. The picture next to us is a pond that I was, almost knee deep in some boots gathering samples. So like I said, hands-on was really fun for me. And we kind of want to build this profile about river and estuary ecosystem health. So here's another photo. You can see some of our professors. Dr. Papapoulou is the one in black, standing right there. We had a good time with it. So our project could lead to a lot more extensive research and long-term study. So we need more systematic field and lab observations. Like I said, we can't do any significant statistical analyses without these more consistent measurements and observations. And we want to monitor the water quality, make sure biodiversity is taken care of in the river system, and see the changes that happen anthropogenically with climate change. It's a good base starting and it's a great thing. So now I'm going to move on to Eva Tufexi's presentation. Like I said, she can't be here today, so that's a bummer, but I'm going to kind of briefly run over her project because she did it at the same time as I did, fall of 2020. So her research question was, how does disposal of waste like plastic and garbage have chemical and biological effects in the animal life of a river ecosystem? So she wanted to know that she wanted to explore the idea and around the fact that human garbage disposal does affect the river ecosystem and animals, which Eva loves the animals. So she needed to learn about the river ecosystem. The class did have a big part. Like I said, we did a lot of aspects of biology. So we did learn a significant amount of taxonomy and ecosystems and all those kinds of things. So she wanted to highlight some of the animals that were in the river system, like in the Magdalena and Rufina, like I was saying earlier. So, we have a lot of the river animals. We got a lot of worms, snails, maybe some fish if we're lucky, lots of flies, butterflies, that kind of thing. So you can kind of see the table she has for us here. So like I said, we went to sites A, B, and C. So she had a documentation process while we were doing these field trips. And of the 3 sites she visited, she took the time to take pictures and classify all of them. So not all the waste is hazardous to the ecosystem. Like sometimes food waste can be a little less harmful than plastics, for instance. But plastic hides in a lot of waste. But we did, unfortunately, find a lot of plastic. We found a lot of plastic bottles, cigarettes, food wrapping, a lot of plastic bags, beer cans, food containers, and food leftovers. You know, it's alongside a road, or even just people can go walking and throw things. So she wanted to show here with this that there's plastic in anything, even if it doesn't seem super apparent. Yeah. So she wanted to explore the various issues. So by documenting the garbage that she found on the sites, she kind of worked through literature to find out the different ways that the ecosystem is negatively impacted by solid waste. I think we all know that's kind of a bad thing. And she had an emphasis on plastic waste specifically. So when plastics decompose, which they take a long time to do so, they release a lot of substances, some of which are hazardous and toxic to living organisms. So she wanted to also broaden the knowledge of kind of the effects of plastic waste in the aquatic ecosystem, because that was a core component of Integrated 1. So kind of the final thoughts, this course really feels like every lab session that you've done from the beginning kind of like comes together. You feel like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing. It's a really empowering feeling for us. So it's like it's a phenomenal collection of everything we've been learning since the start of our major. So no matter what topic you do, we had people do all sorts of things, from the organisms of the river, like I did, to taxonomy, to chemical analysis of the water. We had a really good opportunity to have proper field work and get this well-rounded knowledge about how to use these instruments, how to take it back to the lab, and what are the methods in doing so. And I think all of us really benefited from that as a whole. So this class is a great time, and I am excited for any ES students to do it further, and maybe we can turn some of these projects into something really long-lasting one day, start building on it. So thank you so much, everyone. I'll stop sharing my screen now. Okay, thank you. And I'll pass the floor to one of my lovely other friends, Georgia Sarakinou, and she's gonna talk to us about her, I think her thesis. Yeah, so I can't wait to hear about it. Okay.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Haley. So to start, my name is Georgia Sarakinou. I am a graduate from the Environmental Studies program for the year 2021, and I'm currently an undergraduate student for the Biomedical Sciences program. And the topic that we'll present today is the topic of my thesis, which focused on the factors that affect the caretta population of Greece. So to start, I'm going to present some information about the caretta species. It's an endemic species that does nest in Greece, and its survival is very important due to the role of the animal as a keystone species. The mating for the caretta is between the ages of 10 to 30, and the eggs are laid between late April to early September. Each turtle can mate every 2 years and can produce 2 to 3 clutches on average, with 110 eggs for each breeding season. It's important to note that the beach in which the eggs are laid is the same as the one where the female mother was also hatched, and thus it's very important to be able to save the specific breeding grounds in the Mediterranean. Each nest, with an average of 110 younglings, produces males and females with a theoretical 1-to-1 ratio. The sex is determined by the temperature of the sand in which the eggs are incubated, and it's a process known as temperature-dependent sex determination, with lower temperatures resulting to males and higher temperatures resulting to females. Of the 1,000 younglings that are to be produced, it is estimated that only one will succeed in reaching adulthood due to the threats that the caretta has to face. The caretta has various natural threats. However, a major cause for the reduction of the numbers of loggerhead turtles can be attributed to human activities such as climate change, nesting, injuries, and litter. It is important to note that the European Union, in collaboration with Greece, has taken several actions in order to combat the issue. However, the population is still in decline. For the collection of my data, archival research was conducted for the mapping of the incidences of caretta traumas and deaths that were reported on public press for the years 2019 and 2020. National, regional, and local newspaper articles from across Greece were accessed and assessed. The data concerned the number of turtles found injured or dead, the location, the date, the cause, and the extent of the injury. The articles were then cross-referenced to exclude multiple recordings of the same incident while obtaining all the necessary data. Overall, 228 individual incidences were collected and then processed. The data were as follows. The analysis of the results for 2019 and 2020 period indicated a higher rate of incidences of traumas and deaths for the months of May to October in both years, which coincide with the nesting and hatching period. This could be attributed to the fact that the adult female individuals are found closest to the coast and are weakened upon their return to the sea after laying their eggs, and therefore more vulnerable. In case of an incident involving a pregnant turtle, a direct impact on the future hatchlings and the population is also observed. Further analysis of traumas and deaths indicates that on most occasions the causes are unknown. Three notable incidences that are not statistically significant but are important to mention involve injuries caused by a hammer, a 5-centimeter cut on the neck caused by a sharp object, an unintentional injury on the head, and a fishing line wrapped seemingly intentionally around the animal's neck. At this point, it is important to note that the conducted research also brought to the limelight another serious issue, which was the underreporting of the careta incidences in Greece, something that is further indicated by the fact that although the data shows that more than 700 incidences involving a loggerhead turtle were reported for the year 2020, there were only 135 incidences that were reported by the news. Finally, an attempt to identify the hotspots of the sea turtle traumas and fatalities in Greece was also made based on the incidence's location. The protected area of Zakynthos and North Sparades, as well as Crete, where although it's not an official protected area, does have a lot of awareness and protection campaigns that take place, have been identified to have the smallest number of incidences. The area with the highest number of recorded incidences appears to be Peloponnese, with 35% of incidences being recorded there. All in all, the number and the commonality of the instances, as well as the brutality that is demonstrated, is something that should be considered. Moreover, though this research shows the need for an improvement, it also shows that there is a very important issue in regards to the underreporting of the instances. To follow, I will present to you Livia Papageriou, who is also going to present her thesis.
Hello, thank you for the introduction. My name is Lydia Papageriou. I graduated from Dury with a degree in environmental studies and a minor in biology in the fall of 2019. And in September, I'm going to begin studying for a dual master's degree in forestry at the universities of Padova and British Columbia. My presentation today is going to be on the work I did for my capstone project, for which I investigated monk parakeets in Athens, and more specifically, their population size, ecological niche, and relationship with other avian species at the National Garden and Parkos Scholios Chorofυλακής. Monk parakeets are medium-sized birds. As you can see in the image here, their feathers are mostly green with some white areas and a little bit of blue. Whereas other parrots nest in pre-existing cavities, monk parakeets build their own nests. Their structures are highly complex and can weigh up to a ton. The countries highlighted in green on this map are those that the monk parakeets are native to. The ones that are in blue have invasive populations. We don't have a lot of information regarding the presence of monk parakeets in Greece. In fact, the first documented report of them was only in 2008. Monk parakeets do not migrate over large distances, but they are very popular in the international pet trade, which explains why they can be found in so many countries. Thanks to the protection that is provided by their nests, they can easily adapt under conditions that are vastly different to those of their native environment. The method that I used to measure the population size was a nest survey that I encountered in a number of European studies. I made a preliminary visit to each of the parks to count the total number of nests, also noting geographic coordinates, number of openings, and the species of tree that they were on. And in subsequent visits, I observed a sample of at least 10% and tallied the number of individuals entering or leaving the nest. The number of birds was divided by the number of openings to derive an average occupancy rate that was then used to calculate the size of the entire population. These are the population estimates for each of my visits to the parks. A couple of these were a bit lower than expected because it was rainy on those days, so the parakeets were forced to stay inside the nest. And then on my final visit to the National Garden, 2 of the nests that were included in my sample had been destroyed, meaning I had to discount them from my calculations, again resulting in a slightly lower estimate. But the remaining estimates of 127 and 130 individuals for the National Garden and 242 and 248 for Parcos Σχολής Χωροφυλακής are close enough to each other that the variance can be attributed to differences in the precision of the measurements or population fluctuations. This is a climatic map of South America. Several of the climate types that fall within the parakeet's native range are temperate. While Athens doesn't share the exact same climate type as these areas, it is also temperate and therefore a much closer climatic approximation than other countries that the species have proliferated in, such as Belgium. In this graph, we can see the average daily temperature patterns in Athens and how they have changed over time. Clearly, they are now higher than they used to be, which actually brings them closer to the temperatures that are encountered in the parakeet's native range in South America. And according to this graph, certain months now receive more rainfall than they used to, and as a result, parakeets now have a more constant water source, which of course is to their benefit. Most of the nests that I encountered were built on Aleppo pines, indicating a strong preference. These trees also act as a food source. They provide an ideal platform for nesting, and they also provide protection against predators. Finally, on the relationship with other avian species, the scientific community has not yet reached full consensus on whether the net ecological impact of monk parakeets is positive or negative. On the one hand, parakeet nests can also provide shelter and breeding space for other birds. On the other hand, there have been reports of monk parakeet aggression when competing for food or space. They might also introduce diseases that are very dangerous to the native bird populations. I personally did not observe any evidence of a negative ecological impact. Nevertheless, growing populations could increase interspecies competition, and with it the probability of aggressive behavior, disease transmission, and the displacement of native species. So it is at this point that I need to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I would now like to give the floor to the next speaker, who I believe is Penelope Savidu.
Hello, thank you, Lydia. I hope you can see my screen. I'm Penelope, and I will present a part of my capstone research project that was done with the supervision of Dr. Anastasia Miseyani. Briefly about me, I'm a student alumni of 2019. I majored in environmental studies and minored in biology. I've currently completed a 2-year master's degree in environmental science and chemistry, toxicology, and health from the University of Copenhagen. And I focused mainly on the detection of micropollutants in wastewater. And at the moment, I'm awaiting of an official confirmation for a PhD studentship at Cranfield University in the UK on wastewater analysis. So about this, my work at DD. I tried to map the woody biodiversity, the woody plant community of ACG. So a little bit about the history of ACG and the mountain hemitus. The ACG moved there in 1965, and from different sources and anecdotes, we have established that the area was basically barren of plant trees. At the moment, like olive trees or mastic trees were not present. And the administration actually undertake this big landscaping project to approximately plant 30,000 plants. So that created the question of what is the species composition currently in this area, what is their abundance. And that's how the first ecological biomonitoring project started. There is, as you can see here, this is the area, and the sampling was actually clustered into 3 classes. The first one is located above the campus, the Dury campus building, and then the other area was located above the communication building, and the third one was anything that laid in between. So in total, we established 11 quadrats, and each quadrat had 100 square meters diameter. And in each one, 3 main methods were employed for data collection: the quadrat method, the line intercept, and field observations. So to answer the main question, what was the species identified and what is the species composition in this area? In total, there were 23 species recorded, and they were categorized under 15 families. 7 out of these 23 were small or big trees. Most of them are common to the Mediterranean, like the olive tree or the common kerm oak, and then we have the mastic tree. In big trees, we have pine trees and cupressus. And they are found throughout the area in almost the same abundance and density. Then in moving on to small shrubs, besides the most common one, which is the cistus, where it was found everywhere with 600 and more individuals counted in those quadrats. There were peculiar cases like Lonicera and Rubia, with very, very, very small abundance and very and in only specific quadrats. And then there were shrubs with a little bit more abundance than the others, like Erica and Globularia. These were mainly found above the main DD campus building. And then lastly, Fumana arabica, which was located mainly above the pool area, so in the in-between cluster. So finally, it would be nice to mention that this work was presented in the 16th Conference of Hellenic Botanical Society in October 2019, with the collaboration of Dr. Kazanis at the Department of Biology at the University of Athens. So mainly we collaborated and we tried to make a presentation showing what is the composition and the abundance of those species between all the different areas. And a small statistical analysis was conducted by Dr. Kazanis, trying to correlate the field observations like rock cover and inclination of the areas with the species types found in each area. That was a brief presentation of me, so thank you. So now I would like to ask Mr. Gikas to present.
Hello, everyone. Can you see my presentation? I hope so. Yeah. My name is Haris Gikas. I graduated from DIRI in 2009. Currently, I'm a master student at Utrecht University, studying remote sensing and geographical information systems. I would like to present my thesis, my capstone project, which I consider the most special moment during my studies in DIRI. It was about food waste, in specific the main drivers and compositional analysis of the food waste generated in the main dining facility on campus. As you may know, food waste is a significant problem for contemporary societies with severe economic, social, and environmental impacts. Actually, it accounts from 33 to 50% of the global food produced annually. So 80% of annual greenhouse gases emissions comes from food waste. It also accounts for $930 billion in economic losses. So to investigate food waste in Diri, I used qualitative and quantitative methods. I directly measured food waste, direct weight measurements. I did surveys and questionnaires aiming to identify the main drivers that lead to food waste. And I also did qualitative compositional analysis. Briefly, the results were that 2,777 kilos annually are considered unavoidable food waste, and 1,500 approximately unavoidable. That means that the majority of food waste in Diri can be avoidable. Among the main findings, environmental education was found the most major issue that students generate food waste and their attitude towards the food waste itself. Also, it was found that satisfaction and the will to gain variety and abundance of food choices does not lead to a significant food waste. My thesis was presented in the International Conference on Sustainable Solid Waste Management 2019 in Heraklion. Yeah, that was it. Thank you. And I would like to pass the floor in Dr. Apostolaki.
Thank you, Haris. Thank you to all the students who presented so far. We will continue with another student, the American College of Greece, through the Center of Excellence in Sustainability, as has already been elaborated by Mrs. Rania Sargiotaki, has been recognized as a leading institution in promoting sustainability. There have been many initiatives and activities that they have taken place over the past 10 years of the operation of this center. Those activities have been supported by our Student Sustainability Leaders Group. The efforts of this group will be presented by the student Dionysios Javaras in the following pre-recorded presentation.
My name is Dionysios Javaras and I am a psychology major and leadership and management minor student at the American College of Greece and also a proud member and coordinator of the ACG Sustainability Leaders. Our team was established only a few years ago and has worked towards the accomplishment, among others, of two main goals. First of all, to raise awareness and engage ACG students who want to learn and help in ACG sustainability actions and allow them to become responsible and caring citizens not only inside our campus but also beyond. And secondly, as ACG intends to educate the leaders of tomorrow, the Sustainability Leaders Group aims to create the future leaders of sustainability through education and by vigorously contributing to a more comprehensive, socially responsible, financially viable, and environmentally sustainable society through its volunteer initiatives. Our actions and activities have been very helpful for the ACG community as they contribute a lot to the sustainable development and future of our campus and our society. Through this past school year, it has only become increasingly clear to the sustainability leaders that volunteering in our community is vital towards creating positive change in our environment, and thankfully, due to the ever-present support of the ACG sustainability leaders and the rest of the Diri student population, we have managed to volunteer both inside and outside our campus. First of all, we have continued supporting the ACG Goes Plastic Free campaign, whose purpose is to raise awareness regarding the harmful consequences of single-use plastics and to reduce their use both in our campus and beyond. Secondly, we have participated in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Symposium Exploring the Diversity of Athens, in order to raise awareness on 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and have helped produce practical solutions to implement in the city of Athens so as for it to become more sustainable. We have also donated blood and promoted all 3 ACG blood drives, and we have continued to support the ACG Farmers Market Initiative. In an effort to reduce food waste and fight malnutrition in our society, in collaboration with the Office of Public Affairs, which is coordinating this initiative with the NGO Boroume, we go to the Cholargos Farmers Market every single Monday and collect leftover vegetables and fruit that were not sold and give them to Ieros Naos Panagias Phaneromenis, which operates a daily soup kitchen and provides meals to people in need. Up until now, we have contributed over 500 hours of volunteer work, and we have saved approximately 7,080 kilograms of food that would otherwise be thrown away. Overall, through our initiatives, you can see the immense care and support for our community the sustainability leaders hold, which is intertwined with our desire to focus on building resilient and sustainable communities that take care both of our people and the environment. It is within this idea that the sustainability leaders operate, and we push towards giving inspirational young leaders a voice within our group, as well as invite and engage the entire dairy community. We strive to leave a positive impact on any initiative we support and create a supportive and nurturing community. Collective action towards solving problems in our community creates the most effective results, as we have seen through our own initiatives, and brings people together to focus on how they can best improve and support their own communities as well. With this, the sustainability leaders are committed to continue to create this type of community through our actions, and we intend to continue as we so enthusiastically believe that what we do indeed makes a difference. Thank you for your attention and stay safe.
Thank you very much, Dionysis. At this point, I would like to congratulate all our students, not only for today's presentations, but also and foremost for their hard work and dedication to the goals of environmental protection and sustainability throughout their studies. There are many more students who are working on environmental topics and protection of the environment. Unfortunately, we could not host all the work that it is done by our students. We are very proud of your work and of your achievements. Yesterday, at the first day of this event, we held a panel discussion that was organized amongst professors here at the American College of Greece, all of them representing different disciplines. The discussion focused on how all those diverse expertise can contribute towards environmental restoration. Very interesting ideas, approaches, and initiatives were presented on a broad range of topics and concerns. We've discussed about initiatives to reduce biodiversity loss, about water management to eliminate water scarcity and conflicts, about ethical and responsible consumption in the context of corporate social responsibility, about reduction of environmental impacts in the supply chain. We talked about reduction of food waste, about greenwashing and the response of the society and consumers, about environmental concerns that they are related to the field of information and communication technologies, as well as the role of digital technologies in the fight against carbon dioxide emissions. We also talked about sustainable cities, about decarbonization of the maritime industry, about research priorities in the environmental sector. We talked about the responses to future health crisis as the one we are currently facing. And we talked about international initiatives to deal with the climate change impacts to all sectors of human life and activity, including the protection of our culture and world heritage. Our aim at the American College of Greece is to combine expert knowledge and provide multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches to deal with the biggest problems we face today. We hope that we have set a good ground for collaboration, and we may have given some interesting ideas to our audience for future eco-friendly endeavors. Our event was an event on celebration. We've tried to show the positive side of things. We've tried to demonstrate how research, new initiatives and policies, as well as efforts by experts and the youth, can contribute to a better future for our only home, Mother Earth. Thank you for watching us. We hope to see you in person in one of our next events. A nice evening to all of you. Goodbye.